So, a wonderful good afternoon, dear LinkedIn community and composites experts out there. We are at JEC World warm up round two with composites launch. And you see to my right hand side, I have another gentleman here. He's the engagement officer because I will be moderating this show and Yannick will be the engagement officer. Thank you, Yannick, for joining our show in midst of your nice holidays.
Thank you, Ilkay, for welcoming me and try my best to engage the audience today.
Wonderful. Dear audience, you will now be presented really very key figures from the composites industry. And I'm really proud that we have over 200 participants here joining us today or in the replay of this live show. And what is important is this live is an interactive form. And I love it because you can write your comments, your questions into the chat. And please start now by writing in the chat where you're tuning in from. And can you hear us well? Can you see us well? Because a LinkedIn Live is always a technical construct. And as it is with technical constructs, sometimes they don't work 100%. And that's the reason why I tell you also we are parallel streaming on YouTube, on X, formerly Twitter, on Facebook and on Twitch. So I'm greeting all those listeners and viewers also from those platforms. And also this live will be soon published as a podcast. So all podcast guests also, you are welcome to listen to us. We have today with us Roberto Frassine, which I'm also taking now directly on the screen. And Yannick, we will see you later. So, Roberto, welcome to our LinkedIn Live show. Roberto is first in the row because Roberto, he's in two functions here today. Although the first function I would like to focus on is Assocompositi. So you are the chairman of the Italian Composites Network or Association, as the name suggests. Welcome to our show.
Thank you, Ilkay, for inviting me, and welcome everybody to this show. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Also, my honor to have you here, also as the president of the European Association of UCIA. We had last week in round one already Rafael Planet, who is the managing director, and you are the president. So UCIA is also represented here today. And let me just quickly tell you guys, we will have Andrzej Czulek from the Polish cluster of Composites Technologies here with us soon. Then we got Alan Banks. He's the chairman of the board of directors of Composites UK. And he will be explaining us the innovation awards of JEC. And we have an innovation winner, Xenia Könnecke from DLR, the German Aerospace Center. Very much so. She's our latest intake here in our panel. Then we got Giorgio Betteto from Italy of GS Recycling. And we will talk with Giorgio about their invention, how to recycle fibers into construction products, really exciting ones. Then I have announced Holger Plasser of Voidsy. He's the CEO. Unfortunately, Holger had an emergency, so he will be replaced today by Günther Mayr, the CTO of Voidsy. And Voidsy is basically on the booth of Engel, Austria. And we have, of course, also Engel with us. Matthias Mayr is today with us here, and he will explain us about the production cell they have put on their JEC booth. And finally, last but not least, we got Dr. Viktor Reimer from ACTC. ACTC is a sister of HRC. And we will talk about, of course, hydrogen tanks with him. Hydrogens is very much important these days. A lot of new developments going on there, and I would like to know the latest of him. So back to you, Roberto. Roberto, now that you have so many hats, yeah? I'm focusing on the Assocompositi and the UCIA head. Tell me about your background a little so that the community gets a glimpse of who is Roberto and how did you come to this point where you are right now?
Yes, I started working in composites more than, I would say now 40 years ago. I will tell you no more details about that. But I started as a master student, and I never stopped. And now I am a professor at the Politecnico di Milano Engineering School, teaching composites and polymeric materials. In 2004, I was involved in the foundation of the Assocompositi Association, which is the Italian Composites Manufacturers Association. And since our foundation, we became members of EUSHA, which is the European so-called second level association. And in 2014, I became the president of the European Composites Association as well. So the story is quite simple and straightforward. Composites are my passion, are my job, and obviously my life has been dedicated to them.
Yes, and this is basically what connects us each one, and JEC World is of course the platform that connects the world with composites. And I've met you in Bologna already, and congratulations for this great restart of the composite industry in Italy. I know there was in the past many composite events already in Italy, but this was a restart, and in my view was a great one. And I'm much looking forward to next year, which will be held again. Yeah. Now let's dive in.
The second edition next year has been announced a couple of days ago. It will be in Como Lake. So have a look at it. JEC website.
That's a beautiful place, Lake Como. So this is more nearer than to Milano. It's in the north this time. Bologna was also beautiful. Bologna was great, and in Bologna we had this trouble a couple of weeks ago that there was heavy rain, but fortunately that didn't hold us back to network again. So coming back to your association work, which mega trends do you see in the upcoming years, Roberto? Because I'm asking, I know that you and your Italian Verband Association, you are very much also in the construction industry. Maybe you can tell us about that. And can you relate these trends to your association, please?
Absolutely. So basically, we foresee three mega trends in the near future. Sustainability, and sustainability. And this maybe there will be a fourth mega trend, which is artificial intelligence. We are starting to deal with that because that will be a revolution, a true revolution all along the value chain. Coming back to the first three points, I'm saying that we, as Assocompositi as well as EUSHA, we have been involved since many years. I would say more than 10 years in these topics, and we are continuously developing not only the knowledge and the tools to serve the industry, but also the awareness of our companies that having an efficient and effective supply chain in recycling and making our products more sustainable is a key for the success in the future. As for construction, just to finish with your question, we have unfortunately a long time tradition in strengthening and rehabilitation of existing buildings due to frequent earthquakes that are hitting our country, and the composite materials have been applied in those applications since the 90s. So it's really a long standing experience that we have. And what we foresee in the future with the future Euro codes on composite structures, which will hopefully be approved by 2025, that an entirely new market for new constructions will be accessible, which is not at the moment. So our industry is preparing for this big next jump in the near future.
Yeah, and it's a good cause because this earthquake as we have seen last year in Turkey, where millions of people collapsed under these buildings, it's very, very important to have a good, safe structure there. How about the Tower of Pisa? Would you recommend that Tower of Pisa should be reinforced with composites?
Absolutely not. But
Not.
I know that you're thinking of doing it in the towers of Bologna, as you mentioned Bologna, because also one of the two towers in Bologna needs some strengthening. So let's see how it works.
Okay, wonderful. So
Pisa,
Italy,
I would not recommend it. For Pisa, I would not recommend it.
Yeah, it's probably too late for Pisa, and leave it as is probably the best for that tower. So Italy is one of the three spotlight countries. I think it's Belgium and France, the other two. This year in JEC World, and which new impulses as a country would you expect and hand over to your audience as the country on stage?
Yeah, this very exciting event, which will take place on Wednesday morning, has a title, How Italy is Making the Composite Market of Tomorrow, Innovation and Dynamism. And we will have the opportunity to tell the audience about several important innovations and trends in our market, especially that Italy is a net exporter of added value products in composites. Composites that are sold in Italy and internationally are iconic examples in most of the cases. There are challenges, obviously, for our industry that mostly we share with Europe, energy and imports, exports, competition, etc., that we are dealing with, and we will continue working on that. And I'm very proud to say that we realize that the growing awareness regarding sustainability is clearly observed as a major trend in our market. So I hope it will be a very interesting session for JEC visitors.
So then let me ask you, Professor Roberto Frassine, about the sustainability part. Do you have a framework where you think composites absolutely applies to? Very fast one, very quick one, academic framework.
You mean the application sector? What do you mean with framework?
Yeah. Do you have the 3 C's or the 3 S or the 4 C's, the 4 S? You know these.
Yes. Okay. We have the 9 R's. So that's
the 9 R's even. Okay.
We are more ambitious than that. So we started with recycling, but recycling is only a very small part of sustainability. So we are now very much involved in circular economy approach, and this was a result also of consultations that we have inside the European Commission. So they said that for having a success in the future, we should align with those 9 R's, which do not regard the material only, but they are related to applications, how they are refurbished or repurposed, but also the design of the new products. It's quite an ambitious project that we have in the next couple of years to work together with the other associations and the industry in a sort of alliance to produce documents and guidelines for those types of results. And this is definitely something we want.
Yeah. So although it's very comprehensive, the framework, the good news is that sustainability can be achieved by several means, and that's good news.
Exactly.
So this 9 R's caught my attention. I personally will also look into this. Do you have something on your Assocompositi page about it, or will you show this at JEC World?
There will be several events in which we will discuss that topic, but I'm afraid these are not public events. But okay. for sure, after JEC, in our website, people will be able to find more about that, about circularity of composite materials.
Wonderful. So check out after JEC Dear Community what there will be announced soon. So my final question to you, Roberto, is you are, as I said in the beginning, also the president of UCIA. The UCIA is on a different booth. It's in Hall 6, P120, whereas Assocompositi is at Hall 5, D79. So
Exactly.
will you move from Hall 5 to Hall 6 all the time, or how do you split yourself?
I guess more than that, I will be delocalized like an electron around the nucleus of an atom. So you'll never know where I am at a given time and in a given place.
A great picture, great picture. So these sustainability issues, I remember you had a call to action from UCIA regarding the sustainability initiative of gathering, was it the waste of composite materials? How do you stand there? What's the latest there? And why have you brought this sustainability measure as a top priority to UCIA?
Yeah, we started an interesting initiative together with other European associations, just to name a few: Wind Europe, which is the Association for Wind Energy, EBI, which is the Association for the Boat Building Industry, and SEM Bureau, to promote co-processing in cement kilns as a viable short-term route to recycle composite materials. And we had several meetings. We produced a position paper, and we met the Commission on that. And we are currently working on providing some evidence to the Commission to continue in this process of having co-processing accepted as a recycling route. And we just finished an LCA study because we believe that life cycle assessment of the process is one of the most important steps in order to have it recognized. So, and we will do the same for mechanical recycling and other types of recycling that are available on the market. So we are in a way to validate at the Commission those processes as true and viable recycling routes for composite materials.
Okay, wonderful, great. Roberto, then my other last question to you is, what should the people do now after this LinkedIn Live? What is your call to action, your final one, before I take Andrzej to the studio?
I suggest people to stay tuned on both the UCIA and Assocompositi website, because there is a lot to come, and we will issue a call for this alliance. So we invite all stakeholders, OEMs, associations, and authorities to join us in this collective effort to have composite materials be accepted not only for materials which are essential for the energy transition, but also materials which are truly circular in all the aspects of their life.
That's a very nice and fine and noble call to action, Roberto. It was an honor to have you here on our show. I wish you safe travels to Paris, a great inspiring show, and we will meet there anyway on one of your booths. I will see where you will be, in Hall 5 or Hall 6. I will catch you somewhere there. Thank you for coming.
You're all there. Bye-bye.
Bye. So, Andrzej, now it's your turn, and please prepare yourself. And while Andrzej is joining our studio, let me check here quickly with Yannick. Yannick, we have a few viewers, and I'm seeing quite a number of viewers, but most importantly, we have also comments and questions. Do you want to run us through them?
Sure. I mean, we have a lot of women commenting, so welcome to them. Of course, always happy to have you. And we have Simonetta from JEC Group, Ilaria from the 3D printing world. We have Nadia also from the carbon fiber materials world. And we have also, a man, Roy Tirov, well known in the community on the construction topics. I mean, no clear questions, lots of engagement, interest. I would say let's keep going, and feel free to ask your questions in the comment section, please.
Yes. So everyone also in the studio, please write your booth number into the chat on LinkedIn, not here in this dashboard because this is a private chat. Write it on LinkedIn. And I'm seeing, Yannick, that we don't get presented every comment here. For some reason, there's a bug on StreamYard because we have more people commenting, like Herbert Schwendner. If you check the mobile, Herbert, thanks for being part of our show. Then we got Barış again with us. Thank you, Barış. He's from Erko, Turkey. Then Alan is again from Thailand here, 6 o'clock in the evening, so he's ready for dinner. Then we got Josh Choi. See you all at JEC. He says Korea will be there. Wonderful. So the spread is going around the world. And then, wow, we got Julie Osco from Peru. So we are as far as Peru today. Then I see another gentleman called Andrew Rourke. He says, good morning, everybody. And it's great for him to join the show. Wonderful. Thank you so much. And Yannick, I will see you later again. And I'm taking Andrzej now on stage. Andrzej, welcome to the Composites Launch warm-up. I will show you now in solo to show the people also your logo there. Andrzej, just tell the community about yourself. I know you also speak German because you studied a long time also in Germany. I'm not sure whether you are still tied in Germany. Maybe you can explain us, how did you come to this position in Composites?
Yeah. Welcome, everybody. And first of all, thank you very much for the invitation for this beautiful event. My story with the composites materials is connected exactly with the Germany, because I started my life in the composite world in Dresden, in Technical University of Dresden, Technische Universität Dresden. I speak German still, and from this moment, I touch first time the new technology, new composite materials, and my love with this material, with the new technology, is stronger and stronger. And today I am leader of the Polish cluster of the composite technology, and I develop new products. I developed new technology for the production of the material. I don't have such long story like a professor before me, but I trying in my business life connected the solution and the technology which we developed during our scientific life and bring into the business. And of course, in the frame of the Polish cluster of the composite materials, we will try improve the production, testing, manufacturing of the composite materials, composite structure, and of course bring to the market not only in Poland but also in the European market, but of course in the future in the world market of the composite technology.
Yeah, apropos world market, we are seeing that we got even Osaka, Japan here with Kazuaki Nishiyabu. I hope I pronounced it the right way. And then we got Dubai here. Imran is here. And then we have a LinkedIn user. He says, welcome in Como. Of course, we will do that. Yeah. Andrzej, let me start with also your network, your cluster. Now, Poland is in a special situation, and because you're very close to some of the conflict areas we're having on this world. But how is your network going? Is it going strong? Is it growing? What trends do you see within your network in Poland, and what roles do they play?
Okay, maybe I will start about explanation about my cluster, and our network. Our cluster is a very young cluster, is established in 2017, but already we have more than 120 members, 100 members from business side. That's mean from that they are small, medium, and large enterprises from Poland and of course some from Germany and from other countries in Poland. But we have also more than 10 research and development institutions, and we're trying connected the both sides, science and business, and we create together the national project, but also international project. In 2021, we obtained national key cluster status. That means we are selected in Poland as a very important cluster for the development of the future technology, materials, and of course product. In the situation in Poland, we observe that from one side, our cluster still grow quite fast. Last year we had more than 100 members. Then we have now we have more than 120 members, and of course we observe the concentration in our cluster is the production of the elements for the drones, for the UAV product, and of course for defense, especially new materials, new solution, but very important now is also automatization and digitalization of the production. That's mean our companies which producing the elements for drones, for UAVs solution, concentrated now for the improvement of the production of the composite elements, and they try also find the solution how can they produce faster and faster and provide the product for defense to the Ukraine.
Yeah, in the past, if you had said defense, I would say, oh, stop, don't talk much about it. But these days, it's very, very important. And
especially
that brings
for
me also,
Poland.
because particularly for Poland.
If you live in Poland, defense is very important.
Yeah. Now, and you have a strategic role within Europe that cannot be underestimated. It's a very, very strong role. So Poland has an important geopolitical position, as we know, and that brings also responsibility with it. Tell me, how does this affect the composites industry? Does it affect it positively, or does it affect it negatively, or isn't there such a thing between positive and negative? How would you say that?
From my point of view, from our point of view, we have positive and unpositive things if we connect it in this situation. For example, how I said, now the market of UAV and also drones and defense element growth. The many companies producing such elements and developed also new completely solution. But if we're talking, for example, about the automotive industry, in this moment the production of the composite elements, composite structure for automotive industry is much more lower and much more slower than 2 years before. It's mean many companies and many members of our cluster changing the priority and changing already the production direction. That means they concentrated more for the branches which already strong growth, and they are, for example, building industry in Poland, This is of course difficult situation in Germany, but in Poland now we have quite good situation. This is the defense, and also yachts and sport and leisure goods. They are quite good good branches for the composite materials.
Okay, wonderful. So there is a flexibility there in the market, which is also an asset, of course, and a capability to be flexible based on the market conditions to change direction. Now, my final question to you is: you have also an exhibition in Poland,
Yes.
dedicated to composites. Tell us about the particularities of the value chain and in this composites industry, and how this show helps addressing these particularities.
I will answer on this question. We have really strong collaboration with our neighbors, especially with the Composite United, and also with the companies from Germany, from Czech Republic, from other countries around us. And last year, and of course this year, we will co-organize the very important composites fair in Krakow. But we know that JEC have started now cooperation with the Composite Expo in Krakow. That means this year there will be first joined together Composite Expo and JEC from Paris in Krakow. We will invite you very warmly, and I hope we will also present the solution from JEC in Krakow together with our cluster on the European level.
Thanks for the warm welcome and the warm introduction to this, and we will gladly have a look at it. So, at JEC World, are you there as a visitor? Or how can people reach you on JEC World if they want to talk about the Polish market with you?
We will be this year visitors. Next year we will have the booth. This year, because there was very difficult to find right place in JEC, because now we started looking for the place for us a little bit too late. There was a little bit depend of our government, because we are supported as a national key cluster from government, and we decided this year we will be visitor, of course, and there will be big pleasure for us if we can visit your booth. That means the colleagues which presented already today and 1 week ago the services and ideas. We will visit the booths, and of course I am always available to contact directly with the people which will talking with me, and I will present, of course, everything what they will know about the Polish market and Polish composite.
Okay. Wonderful. But the beauty of also visiting JEC World is that you can focus on also the other nice booths and get your impulses from them. Andrzej, thank you for joining our show. We have to move on because time is running, and I greet now Alan Banks and say goodbye to you, Andrzej. Thank you for being part of our show.
Thank you very much.
Oh, no, I cut him off. I'm sorry, Andrzej. This happens in a live studio when you're doing all the things yourself. So, Alan, thank you for joining us from Composites UK. We had David Bailey last week already here, and I'm really honored that you're joining our show.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Holger. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, so Composites UK, I know you guys mostly through ICS. You have also a dedicated show in the UK, obviously. And that is, last time it was in Milton Keynes, the year before it was in London. So I'm really closely watching that. So you are the chairman of the board of directors of Composites UK, but you are also an executive at Ford Motors, as far as I can see from your profile. Can you explain us, how did you come to Composites? What's your background?
Almost by accident, to be honest with you. I mean, I've been at Ford since I was 16 years old, so I'm just over 40 years I've been there now. It's the only job I've ever had. And about 2014, I was asked by our research and advanced engineering teams in our company if I would lead a project on a one-shot composite rear suspension member for a Focus RS. I've been a commercial vehicle sort of manager pretty much my whole working life almost. So I haven't really worked on a car program for a long time. Certainly haven't worked in carbon fiber or any kind of composite material. I've always been a metallics engineer, and I led that consortium with Innovate UK backing. It was a really good project. I really did enjoy it. I learned a lot. I was on a very steep learning curve, as you might imagine, and then it dawned on me that if we can do the kind of project that we did on the Focus RS, then maybe there's application on commercial vehicles. Because as I said, commercial vehicles have always been my lifeblood. That's my specialty, if you like. And so I started to do more projects on advanced materials on commercial vehicles, not necessarily for immediate production, but certainly to look at, what could we do, what's coming. If you think about it, commercial vehicles probably have the biggest weight potential of any of the vehicles that we produce, because a commercial vehicle has to be light, so you can put payload in the back and carry a lot of payload around. If your vehicle is heavy, and vehicles are getting heavier because of electrification and autonomy when it comes, then as the vehicles get heavier, the less you can fit in the back. So it's really a responsibility of ours, if you like, within the automotive world, to make our vehicles as light as possible to maximize the payload potential. So for me, commercial vehicles were, if we were going to develop composite materials, then we need to do them with sort of mass production techniques. I think globally we make about 500,000 transit vans a year, for instance. So if we're going to design anything from a composite material perspective, then it needs to be mass produced. And we need to be able to, sort of save as much weight as we can for our customers. This is all about customer demand.
Yeah, it's a great transition then. So you did basically build transferable skills, and you took these from the RS models over to the Nutzfahrzeuge, we say in Germany, to the commercial vehicles. And absolutely right. These commercial vehicles, they have to carry stuff, freight, people, and it makes absolutely sense. And thank you so much that you are passionately driving lightweight technologies into commercial vehicles. So that's a fantastic, very passionate. The passion can be seen absolutely, Ellen, and that you have been at Ford so many years shows that you are really dedicated to that mission. So talking about missions, you have also a pavilion at JEC World, a UK pavilion.
We do.
And what will be your mission with the pavilion? Is it that you are bringing the network, the composites manufacturers out of the UK together, or is there a wider plan?
It's certainly to bring all of the composite manufacturers together. There's no question about that. We try and get everyone under one roof. Not always easy. We know, for instance, that we have quite a lot of companies within the UK who love their slot to be in one particular hall next to a particular set of technologies because they bind together, really well. But at the Composites UK stand, we try to make sure that we have the UK pavilion, as you said, and the pavilion for us is really important. That used to be run by the Department of Business and Trade, and Composites UK took that over a couple of years ago. And we feel it's really important to make sure that the whole of the composites industry knows what's going on within the UK. The UK has some amazing technology. I think last year on the UK pavilion, we actually showcased a hydrogen tank that had been which had been recycled using a process called pressolysis, which is patented by a UK company called B&M Longworth. They use their process, which is called decom, which only uses steam, so it's completely sustainable. And they were able to get the resin from that tank so that we could unwind the continuous fiber back onto a bobbin, and then I didn't physically do that. It was done by the National Composites Centre and a company called Signet TechSkimp. And we actually made a new hydrogen tank based on that material. I think as Roberto was saying before me, sustainability, sustainability, sustainability. They are the absolute keys going forward. And he's also right when he talks about AI and the data management and the way that we work things in an Industry 4 and moving forward into Industry 5 sort of future. We absolutely need sustainability. One thing we've learned from the wind energy sector, for instance, is that we solve one problem because we get clean energy, but then when those components are decommissioned, what do we do with them? We kind of create another problem based on solving one. So I think from a Composites UK perspective, we're always looking to get sort of companies involved in how do we solve all of the problems all at once. Because if we just moved everything to composite materials, great, we solve quite a lot of problems. But then 10, 15, 20 years down the line, what do we do with those materials? So it's in our interest to make sure that we solve those problems as we're developing the solutions, because we don't want to be caught out by creating another problem when we've tried to solve one. So the Composites UK Pavilion is key to bring all of those people together. It's really important that we do so.
Absolutely smashing. Absolutely right. And I'm totally with you on that one. From cradle to cradle is the motto. And I'm just looking at your JEC booth number is 6T62 and 6S62 for anyone who is interested in what Alan just promoted here. Just have a look at their booths. It's fantastic. They have a couple of very interesting exhibitors over there. And now let's move on to the JEC Innovation. You have been nominated to the jury of the JEC Innovation. Now tell our viewers, Alan, please, what is the JEC Innovation Award? Who is it for? And what value does it bring with it?
Well, the JEC Innovation Awards are pretty much the Oscars of the composites world. It's a really important event. Every company on the planet uses innovation every day. You might not appreciate that you do, but let me assure you, everybody innovates every second of every day. And in my opinion, it's really important that people get recognition for the innovation work and the great innovative work that they're doing. The composites industry, and as I said, I'm a relative newcomer to this. I joined the board of Composites UK in 2020 and became its chairman in 2022. And in that time frame, that short time frame that I've been involved, I cannot believe the amount of innovation that's gone on in the composites arena. It's just staggering. And for me, it's really important that the whole world gets to see how quickly and how massively the innovation is happening within the composites industry. And what better way to highlight that than to have an award ceremony, which, I think during the award ceremony itself, it was called the Oscars of the composites world, and that's absolutely right. It's really important that sort of people sort of enter the awards to showcase their innovation. I had the great fortune to win it you can just see it above my head in 2018. I was really, really proud of that for our Focus RS project. And when I was asked to be on the jury panel, I was delighted, because for me, this is, kind of paying it back and paying it forward, because without the jurors, how can we have an award ceremony? Who's going to pick those awards, for instance? And I think, what it means to the composites industry is everything, because you have to have the recognition of your peers to know that you've done a really, really good job. And I think that's really important for motivation. It's really important for innovation. And of course, we all get to collaborate. Once we've seen one project that's successful, you start to think about, well, how can I use that? How can I use that technology to apply it to something that I'm working on? So it's always good to have the collaboration. It's always good to see new technology, and we really, really should encourage people to apply for the awards. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, we were delighted with that, for instance, and honestly, it's made me apply quite a lot more. Haven't really been successful other than that one, but it's not going to stop me trying. I really, really am passionate about the awards. They are everything to this industry.
Very good, very good. So talking about peer review, that sounds, of course, also a bit academic. So there will be some research done on the innovation. And we have an innovation award winner, which is Xenia Könecke from DLR. Xenia, please prepare yourself to come on stage right now. And while Xenia is preparing, my last question, Alan, to you is, can you give us some insights in how the jury works actually? Is it a remote team? Do you gather together? How rigorous is the process?
Everyone works independently, so none of the judges talk to each other. We're given the shortlist of awards, which is actually done by JEC itself. That isn't shortlisted by the jurors. We're given 3 shortlisted candidates where we have all of the data on how the award be judged. We judge it on, I think, 3 or 4 different categories, depending on how how they're judged in those categories. We get a final score. Each juror, of which there are 11 of us, we give those scores to JEC. JEC collate them all, and then whoever comes out with the highest number wins. Sort of Xenia's work at DLR is just absolutely superb. Really, really, really good. I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do with sort of 3D printing at scale for our area within automotive. I know this was an aerospace project, but all of these technologies eventually are going to link together. Aerospace has a lot to learn from the mass production techniques that we use in automotive. Likewise, automotive has a huge amount to learn from some of the niche processes that are used within aerospace. So I think there's going to be a lot of crossover there. The work done on the 3D printing of the different sort of thermoplastic and thermoset plastics, as well as continuous, as well as short fiber in the one process, that was groundbreaking. I was, in fact, and not just because I knew that Xenia was, I actually looked through that sort of nomination again, because I absolutely can see applications for that kind of work within automotive. So yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic project, and Xenia, well done for the win. Brilliant.
Thank you so much, Alan. This is Alan Banks, Board of Directors of Composites UK. Thanks for being part of our show, Alan. And now move on to Xenia, because I know Xenia has a meeting at 1 p.m. and we want her to run to that meeting immediately. Alan, thank you so much. And thanks also for this inspirational insights into the Innovation Award. People, just note one more time, the JEC booth of Composites UK is 6T62 or 6S62. Thank you, Alan.
Thank you.
So, Xenia, isn't that balsam on your soul, what you heard right now from Alan?
Absolutely. So it was a lot of work, like in every project, and it's really, really good to hear from one members of the jury that it's a project with a bright future ahead.
Yes. So Xenia, I met Xenia in Zurich at the Innovation Days of Composites United Switzerland that was carried out at the premises of 90 Labs. And we have Yannick with us of 90 Labs, of course. So Xenia, before we dive into your innovation itself, tell us shortly about your personal background, what happened, and how did you come to this place where you are right now?
Yeah, it's a lot of steps to come there, but most of them, by chance or by accident, how you want to call it. Now I'm at the DLR as a lab manager, and my way to it was, during my studies. So I studied business administration, and during that I worked a lot in different stations, like the natural faculty of the university in Hanover, where I get in contact with a lot of students from this area, and mentioned that I like to work in the place between the economical and the technological side, and that I have a lot of fun there, and that I'm really passionate about these points. And so yeah, I switched my jobs and went to a lot of organizations which are working in the area of entrepreneurship, in the area of founding, and in the area of technology management. And yeah, when I finished my studies of technology management, this was the thing that I studied. There was this job at the DLR, and I applied for it, and I started it. But
And
most of the things.
And here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Most of the things are learning by doing.
Yes, wonderful. So I met you, as I said, at the Innovation Days in Switzerland. Now, my question to you is very fast. Now, you have entered into collaboration with other private entities. So, what was clear to you? Why did you enter into these collaborations? What value does it give to you to make innovations together with partners?
I think without collaboration, innovation isn't possible. So most of the innovation in times like that are the result of great collaborations. And so it was no secret that we have to get in contact with companies and with organizations who wants to provide the topic, who wants to drive the topic of fiber reinforced 3D printing. But the biggest point, or the biggest learning for me, was that it's not enough to have just the companies on board. It's also important to have people with passion on board. So it's not about innovation. It's not about companies. It's about the people who are working in the companies and who wants to, who must be motivated, who must be brave, and who must be willing to take risks and to bring a topic forward at a stage where you don't know what the result will be.
Mm-hmm. So taking risks is an important important skill, of course, that people are ready for this. Now, tell us about the innovative character of your joint project. What did the jury found so praiseworthy in your eyes?
So in my eyes, I think the jury found praiseworthy that it's not an approach to replace all conventional composite manufacturing processes with 3D printing, because in the last years, when you read about 3D printing, it was like, yeah, it will revolutionize all the conventional composite or all the conventional manufacturing processes, and everything will be made by a 3D printer. And our approach was not to replace it, it was to combine them. So we combined the cost-efficient established composite manufacturing methods with the high design freedom and agility of fiber reinforced 3D printing to make it as much efficient as it could be, and to provide an approach for the industrial use that is not only based on changing to one technology.
Okay, so your booth number is 6T9090. You have your own booth, so it will be, I presume, a large booth, which is appropriate for the DLR, the German Aerospace Agency, of course. So, will you be there all the time at the JEC World? Can people talk to you there on the booth?
Yeah, I will be there the whole time. I will start on Monday and leave on Friday. So I will be available at all days. Sometimes I will be at the booth of our partner Weber. They will exhibit the EmpowerX demo part. So this part that got also the award. It's a collaborative project, and so we also live collaboration on fairs and give our partners a chance to present this part where they are involved in. So I will also be there. I think it's hall 5P138. But most of the time I will be in hall 6, T90, at the booth of the German Aerospace Center. There we will have also small demonstrators on the concept of additive functionalization to show. It's like a hand demonstrator where we show the capabilities. And at our booth you can also see topics of certification of a tank structure in the context of hydrogen, and also our ideas for the room of the future.
So all things high tech and all things also that are in the trend like hydrogen. Let me take the opportunity, Xenia, because you have to leave in a few moments. You have in September, you are inviting the community traditionally to the Empower AX conference and the subsequent science days. Tell us about it while I'm putting in the new logo, the AX logo. Additive extrusion. So tell us about it, and also, do you have still capacities available for that conference?
Yes, we have. So we are currently starting the whole marketing. So yeah, who comes first win the seats. And these both events are an event for the composite community. The first event of the Empower X, it's called the Empower X Science Day. It's with a different topic every year, and there we bring together all interested parties of the topic of fiber reinforced 3D printing, so with short fiber and also endless fibers. We bring the industry partners and partners from the science area on our stage and talk about the state of the art, the newest applications, and what we can do in future. This year, the topic will be about qualification, quality assurance, and sustainability. And the next day, we have our science day of our institute for lightweight systems. So it has a little bit more scientific character, but industry partners are also really invited. And there we will also talk about sustainability in the composite industry and how we can work sustainable with composites, how we can work with recycled composites, what it has to do with the mechanical performance of the parts that we produce out of it. And there we will also have a lot of great speakers from the scientific area on our stage. And the coolest thing about it is that it's not in a conference room or something like that. It's in our wing lab. So it's a big hall. Normally we have the wing structures there. We put it all outside, make a stage into the hall. Next to the stage, there's our robot, which is printing something. You see wing structures above you, and there will be chairs, and there's also a lot of companies who present themselves and their parts they are producing. So it's we do it for the third time this year in this framework, and the last 2 years it was a really big success. So the Empower X demo part, which is honored with the JEC Innovation Award, was the outcome of the Empower X Science Day 2022, and it started on the flip chart, and now it's a JEC Innovation Award winner, and I hope this is not our last station.
Yes, of course. So I cross my fingers for you and for your science days and for the Empower conference that you're holding. I'm really keen to see that. So it will be in September. Remind me of the day. Was it 22nd?
25 and 26 of September.
25 and 26. Okay, wonderful. So community, have a look at it at DLR for the Empower AX and the Science Days, and you are cordially invited. The places are a bit limited, so please rush your membership or registration there. Okay, Xenia, you have to leave. You have a meeting right now. Thank you for being part of our show, and I will meet you at C6T90 at JEC in Paris.
This is how we do it. Thank you very much that I was allowed to be part of this.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So, Yannick.
Yes, Ilkay.
So, any more comments or questions before we move on to Giorgio Betteto?
I mean, quite some comments as usual. I'd say one thing I would make a question out of it. Actually, there is a few newcomers into the Composites community. So first, welcome to them, and maybe a question to you, Ilkay. I'm a bit biased. Maybe I can also bring an answer to that. How to best prepare for JEC World for the first visit? How to make the most out of it? I would say engage with the community on LinkedIn. We are pretty active. You are super active. But how would you do that? How would you meet all the people you know?
Yes, first of all, please watch our warm-up series, warm-up on the 9th of February. That's already done. And this is our second round of warm-up. And you will really see a lot of key figures. I'm a bit biased also because it's the German-speaking countries mostly, but we had also Italy involved, England involved, as the United Kingdom, and also even newcomers like Poland. And I'm seeing that, for example, there is a Julien Mallet, maybe she's French. Hi everyone, she says from Paris, looking forward for the first JEC part. Other than that, please go to the JEC World site. There is an interactive map there. And also you can download an app on your smartphone. There are actually two apps. Thomas Lepretre has introduced those on our first round. Have a look at that. And otherwise, I mean, you have to prepare really, because JEC World will be a massive exhibition with massive conference program. If you are not prepared, you will be lost. I mean, you can also wander around and inspire yourself, but it's always good. I'm a fan of being prepared for this. Yeah. So thanks, Yannick, for now, and we will talk later. So let me then take Mr. Betteto on stage. Giorgio, welcome to my show.
Thank you to all, and I'm honored by being there and talking about composites.
Absolutely. So you are also an expert, and you're coming strongly from the R&D sector of composites, and we will talk about your products soon. So you are not an exhibitor at JEC, but you are a visitor, and you will be visiting JEC. So tell us about your personal background story, Giorgio. What happened in the past that you were so passionate about composites, and then even about recycling them?
Yes, I have a background in plastics. I come from foams, textile, thermosets, films, PVC films. I worked for many years with a big Italian group that was a supplier from a lot of different products, from automotive to Louis Vuitton handbags. And I already worked in the end of the 90s in the recycling of these are still composite, when we have a thermoset foam with a nonwoven or with a synthetic leather and so on. And in that way, I was also already started in making something about regarding composites that I was using as a guy that went in sailboats. In the family, I had also people that was building boats in fiberglass. So it was relatively simply at one point of my life to start with helping a company that have developed an interesting mechanical process for composite to say, okay, let we see what is possible to do to improve, to enlarge the sector. And we have seen really, we had a really good result. And currently I'm working in JEC Recycling, that is an industrial recycler of composites, where we process around 1,800 tons a year that we transform in panels.
Okay, so Alan has also mentioned this, that we've learned a lot from the wind industry, and the wind industry has shown that you can achieve a lot of renewable energy, but at the end there was a new problem caused. What do we do at the end of the life with the products? So why is the classic composites waste so valuable for you guys? You could also use virgin material, new material, to produce this, what you have, but why did you choose to recycle these materials?
Simply because it's this is the reason when JEC Recycling started. JEC, it wasn't a company that was involved in waste, or it was it started from people that worked in composites. Specifically, they were pioneers in the first jacuzzi baths and shower trays, and they started in thinking in recycling just to find a way to obtain a product that was cheaper, much cheaper respect the existing, because if not, in some market was closed from the high cost of relatively high cost of composites. This is still something that is true for many sectors. Currently, we have composites. Practically, composites are the peak performance product in any kind of sector. And to be clear, if we take away composite from the normal life, we immediately go back to 1950. A life like 1950, without with cars made in steel and wood, refrigerators made in with cork and wood, refrigerator where you have to buy the ice to keep inside, and all the thing. So the problem is that not only composite have a problem of end of life, but is relatively limited, since composite normally are so much resistant, so long life, has a very long lifespan of use. But the other question is that traditional composites are costly, are the product with the peak performance and the peak cost. We think that maybe using the technology, using the recycling, is possible to fill the gap of price and performance between the lowest cost, the mass market, and the peak market. In fact, one of these projects that we are currently started last August of last year, Life Green Composite. It was considered for recycling the solid surface and the quartz resin material. So again, composites, but composites of different type, respect the normal fiberglass and so on. Because we are convinced, and we are demonstrating that it's possible to obtain a good product with very good performance, with a very low environmental impact, and also competitive in cost, using waste that have as a destination the landfill. Sorry, can't hear you, Ilkay.
Yeah, that was my microphone. I'm sorry, I muted myself. So it was a cost attractiveness, of course, using the waste, and of course the sustainability feature of using waste materials. So your application has been supported by the European Commission, the Life Green Composite project. Tell us about it, and why do you think has the European Commission supported you?
European Commission supported us because first we were able to show something real. We had developed the technology that may use any kind of composite. We chosen the relatively simple way to reduce in particle the original material and keep together with a binder, with a bonding agent. This is relatively simply from a technological point of view, from a theoretical point of view. The big problem is that to understand if this may lead to something industrially viable, one need to set up a production line that can make can process material in hundreds of tons, and we have to obtain slabs of big dimension. We had the advantage in having done our homework early. We spent a lot of money in testing and setting up, and we had some base condition. Plus, we have a partner in this project that is one of the most important player for the kitchen sinks, the company Plados. That is a company that is already really involved in research with a strong research component, a company that is already partner in several research projects that find us as the ideal partner to make this idea. This idea is relatively simple. Okay, I will take waste that is relatively not so much, but is still something like hundreds of thousands of tons each year in Europe, and I will try to convert. On one side, Plados will make will make the sinks with a recycled composite and the recycled methacrylate. On the other side, we will complete the offer, offering kitchen tops, panels for kitchen tops, for flooring, engineered floor, and so on, that have practically performance exactly similar, if not better, for example, from a point of view of compression and shock, respect the solid surface or the products that are made from virgin raw material. In this case, our competitors are the natural stones, are the ceramics, are the solid surface, where we have, practically we have all virgin material, mostly comes from extraction. Here we have a product that we have a recycled content of 96%. So it was simple for offering this kind of potential solution to the European community was keen to help us in developing, and they gave us a substantial funding to develop the specific, because as anyone that works with composites knows, each material requires its specific equipment. And so in our case, that we are making something new, we had a lot of machinery to invent, to draw, develop, test, look it works, then change again, and so on. And we are obtaining really, really good results. We were not able to expose at JEC. It will be surely done in the future, in the next year, simply because currently we are taking I am not able to have any other of the company in Paris, because we are too taken from the. Practically, the market is exploding now for us, and it's not a surprise, because a material that is competitive, that may be also worked and processed like a stone, so it's possible to mill, to obtain, and so on. Also with a very large custom flexibility of aspect. Material may be low, maybe grain, small grain, big grain, and so on, and may even are a lot of opportunities. So the designers love this, because also because it's something that can't be can be made without making thousands of square meters.
All right. Okay, Giorgio. So you have next year the fantastic opportunity. You can go to JEC World for exposition or JEC Forum Italy at the Lake Como. So you got the choice. Thank you so much for introducing us. You will do both. Yes. Thank you so much for your introduction of this highly recycling project with 96% of recycled content. That is really by far the highest content I've seen so far and I've heard so far. I can't wait to touch this material at JEC, and we will have also a follow-up interview at JEC World in the studios. So please, community, feel free to connect with Giorgio Betteto, talk to him, and make an appointment with him so you can talk about these products. So you are showing one more time.
An example of work that we are doing also with another recycling project. This is a panel made with the sinks on the bottom and the fiberglass. On top, this is fisherman nets that were collected by the Milestone project, and the fisherman net were coated on the panel using a recycled PMMA. So we have a product. This is probably will be used as outside panel because it's nice to see, and it explains very clearly what is possible to do. And where we have, in this case, we have the recycled support with practically 4% of virgin material. The nets collected from the sea, and the recycled PMMA to make the outside surface. So practically all. With also another thing interesting is that in our factory we were obliged simply by our technology to be able to track any kind of feedstock until the finished product. We did this because if not, it was really hard to understand why a product will be different from another one. This permits us to say, okay, I am able to say that this kind of material is done with this list of product, but I am even able to say, okay, the net was collected in this precise location during a cleanup operation. So I have very strong weapons against greenwashing.
Okay, wonderful. So that's a nice fazit, nice conclusion, Giorgio. So we are moving on now. Thanks for being part of our show, and we will see you at JEC World.
Surely. Thanks to all for the attention.
All right. So next in line is then Günther Mayr. He's the CTO of Voidsy. Welcome, Günther, to our show.
Yeah, hello, and thank you for the nice introduction.
So again, also for you, Günther, can you tell us about how did you land in this composites industry, you personally?
Yes, sure. My background was in the research and development of non-destructive testing techniques at the University of Applied Sciences in Austria, Upper Austria. Together with industrial partners, and especially the Austrian aerospace supplier FACC, we developed in the last years active tomography in the direction that it is reached an industrial standard. We got as a special highlight the technical qualification from Boeing in the year 2017 on this really groundbreaking product or technology. And this was the ignition for us also to found a startup, the Voidsy company. And the aim of Voidsy is now to produce the first and mobile smart sensor system for a boat industrial application of this technology, as for example in the aerospace industry, for mobility applications, and as well as for energy.
So let me start in principle. Why does quality assurance require composite materials to be destroyed? And what hinders the current industry to use destruction-free testing, in your view?
Destructive testing is, in my opinion, a very important method. It is used mainly in the material development as well as for the design of new parts or components. In opposite, the non-destructive testing can be applied in serial part production for quality assurance as well as for inline inspection in the field like for helicopters, planes, or something like else. With non-destructive testing, you can increase the safety of components and reduce the waste in production. Nowadays, the application of NDT is very expensive due to the very complex automatization, as well as you need very specialized knowledge of the quality stuff. In opposite, the Voidsy system, the so-called 3D rework system, based on a very easy-to-use concept, which can be applied for robots very fast due to the non-contact measurement behavior. Additionally, we use ultrasound-like post-processing of the measured thermal data so that skilled ultrasonic inspectors can use our technology very easily. And so the costs are very low for change the technology.
So, Günther, what was the moment you realized that you can improve testing on composites? Has there been an aha moment where you say, this was the turning point and we have to improve this?
Yeah, it was not a special point, but I think it was about 5 years ago. We carried out in Upper Austria a very large research project at the university. And there we developed, with the help of 5 PhDs, the so-called thermal tomography for composite materials. We see in groundbreaking experiments with European partners, for example, in Berlin, the BAM, that we can look twice as deep as other thermographic technologies inside the composite, inside the material. We called this new technique the so-called virtual wave concept. And with this new approach, we are also able not to make just funny and nice colored pictures. We were also able to measure the size, the depth, and the location of the defects. And that was, I think, this was the moment we realized that we can improve the active tomography behind the state of the art.
At least you came to know that that it is required. Now, which extraordinary value do you provide with your destruction-free testing? What is the number one value you are giving?
Maybe I want to compare it with the state of the art now in the industry. It is ultrasonic testing. This method, ultrasonic testing, can look at the one side very deeply into the material, but there are some critical disadvantages, in my opinion, like you need the contact to the material, and this is just a point-wise testing, and so it is very slow. This is very critical, I think, when you look in the future at highway production in the case of UAMs, in the case of urban air mobility applications. We offer with our Voidsy rework system an image-based system which can have significant values for the composite community. It is a very fast and quiet testing method, also for very complex shaped parts. I think it is up to 80% faster than the state of the art now, and you can use this technology as well as in production, as also in service applications. Our system up to now works at different customers. For example, there are customers in the space, aerospace, and automotive industry. We have a system now delivered last week to Germany, to the ESA Aerospace company, and we also have some sensors installed by Mayr, Engel, as well as Phil. You can see that at the JEC in Paris.
Very good. So your booth number is 5L106, which is the Engel booth, and you are part of the Engel booth. And let me greet together with you also Matthias Mayr. Welcome, Matthias, to our show. You are still muted, Matthias.
Sorry for that. Then I repeat, hello Ilkay, hello Günther, hello all together. As you mentioned, Voidsy is again on our booth. We are proud and happy, and you will see a lot of news, and we can have a lot of very good discussions.
Yes. So before I say goodbye to Günther, will you be at the JEC booth all the time?
Yes, I am at the JEC booth all the time, but we also have a second partner at the JEC, the company Phil, where we show our system also for automatization.
Okay, wonderful. So maybe you can write in the comments where Phil is so that the people can find their way to Phil. Yeah?
I will do that, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for replacing so short notice, Holger. Was much appreciated, Günther. Thank you so much.
Sure.
And
No
see you on JEC.
See you. Bye. Have a nice day.
Bye. So, Matthias, hello again.
Hello, Ilkay.
So I met Matthias the first time in person at ITEC in Bremen, ITEC, the International Thermoplastics Conference. There we had a great gathering and had also a great video. And also Engel was one of our partners in the past of Composites Launch Conference. So we have quite a long tradition. And this year, Matthias told me that they will be having a production cell on the JEC booth. And I would like to know more about it soon. But before we come to that, Matthias, for our community, who is Matthias and why is he in Composites?
Yeah, as you hear from me and from Günther, we are both from Austria. And yes, since my study and at the same university as Günther mentioned before, since my study plastics engineer and material engineer, I was fascinated by materials and composites. So composite more or less is my passion over the years. And Engel started 13 or more than 10 years ago to set up their own division for lightweight and for composites. And that was also my starting point at Engel, where I start my career at Engel. Before I do a lot in application engineering, project management, mostly in the automotive industry. And as Engel decided to set up an own technical center and division, I joined there. And from this on, I worked there over the last 10 years for the composite industry. Yeah, and it was interesting as we started Engel, you know, Engel more or less maybe as a world market leader building injection molding machines, and so we thought everybody knows us in the world on the shows. We're dealing with the big shows like the K show, Fakuma, and as we started 10 years ago at the JEC show, nobody knows us, and then the people say, well, what is Engel doing here in this composite world, and so I think this changed, luckily changed over the past years, and so. I'm proud to be here, and we are often in close contact, and it's a very cool community and a very interesting field.
Yeah, so I can tell you wherever I go, whether it's in RWTH Aachen, at the institutes or other customers, I always see some Engel machine there. So you have quite a penetration on the market. So yeah, close enough that everyone knows Engel. Engel will be at JEC with booth number 5. That's hall 5, L106. And traditionally, they have a large booth. And for JEC World, Matthias, you told me you designed a production cell. And to be frankly clear, isn't that a bit over the top, Matthias, that you're producing at JEC?
You're right. Maybe you're right. We often discuss that, and as I mentioned before, we're on the big shows, and that's business as usual for Engel. To the K show, for example, we have more than 10-15 machines live running, and as we started at JEC, no machine is running, and we discuss a lot. Makes it sense? Is it a benefit? And we decided yes, and the decision was before COVID. And so then came COVID, and we have to postpone our plans. And so we started the last checks to show a live demo cell, and this is a follow-up with the integration of Voidsy, and so we have really a good story behind. And as you know, as visitor, when it's something is running, especially as engineer, it's like a magnet, and so you are fascinating when a robot is running and when we produce a part. And so that was the idea behind. We tried also JEC, but it's really a tough thing, and live demo sales on shows are always really thrilling and really heavy.
I was last year at ITMA in Milano with the textile machine equipment manufacturers, and I visited Karl Mayr, one of my customers, and it took them 2 weeks to build up the production line. They were making grid geotextiles there. So how long does it take you to build up this machine on the JEC booth?
Yeah, the problem is at the JEC show you have not that time that we normally have at the big shows.
Exactly.
Like we have more than weeks, and the preparation is more than months, and we have a lot of logistics behind. And at the JEC, that was the really tough thing, and really very good team behind, that we can realize that we can enter the hall at Thursday afternoon, and we have the Friday and the weekend, and then on Mondays we have the machine running. So that's really tough.
That's really tough. That's really a challenge. So congratulations if you can make it. And I'm really keen to see that. And I will be seeing you on those days.
Yeah.
And apart from your production cell, is there any other highlight this year at the Engel booth?
Yes, and we have a second highlight, and the second highlight would be also with our partner KTM Technology. We have a long partnership with them, and we will see a motorcycle, and therefore we produce a seat bench, and with a new technology, with a technology we entered last year in the market with a sandwich technology. And that is very important for us. We have heard it a lot today: sustainability and recycling and really efficient production cells. And so there we will see also a second highlight, and this would be the motorcycle with the seat bench and with our partners KTM Technology.
So I know KTM, they have a showroom here in Bayreuth, in my hometown. These are the orange motorcycles, right? Motorbikes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Very good. Very good. Good to see real life applications, of course, where you can imagine. That's one of the problems with our products, with composites. They're often hidden somewhere. They are not visible. And it's nice to see then end use applications, of course. So let me talk about, we had some people like Giorgio before, who is coming from the Kunststoff, polymeric side, from the plastics industry. Now, Engel is also by far more known in the plastics industry than in the composites industry. So, but where do you see is the extraordinary offer you or value you can provide in the composites industry and the injection molding community?
Yeah, exactly. We come from the plastic industry, injection molding field. And the big advantage is we know both sides, and we as you know from composite side, normally we have not that mass production and not that thermoplastic materials at the starting point, and so our focus is really on the thermoplastic world. That has some advantages like shorter cycle times with our hybrid molding we show on the show. And also recycling is really a topic, and we can combine both worlds. We can combine the injection molding world with the composite world, and that is our mission. And so we can offer here really a lot of important things, and a big value for our customers we offer a turnkey solution. We have a lot of experience in application technology. We have a good network, we have good partners, and so that is what is our mission, to discuss new projects with the customer to enter in this world. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So, Matthias, after the community has watched this LinkedIn Live, what should they do? What is your call to action? What's the next step? Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, the sentiment in the markets is, of course, very, very important. Thank you, Matthias, for joining our show, and I wish you all the best with installing your equipment. I think the motorcycle will be easy to put it there, but the production cell, I'm really keen to see how it's working. All the best for you guys.
Exactly. Bye.
Bye. So you see, at JEC, you will not only see the materials on the stage, on display, you will see also production running. And this is personally a surprise to me that this exhibition is going also to full-scale production of units. And now let me greet Viktor, Dr. Viktor Reimer from ACTC. Come to my screen here. So we have to change the logo to HRC is the parental company, and ACTC is where Viktor Reimer is from. Viktor, welcome to our show.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the invitation to give us this chance for the warm-up to introduce myself, of course, and also our group. So I would be really happy if you will also visit us in the GSC at booth 6F55. So we are welcome, and yeah, let's have a chat.
Let's have a chat. All things hydrogen is now on our agenda. But before we go on to that, tell us about your interesting background. I understand you have been also in international markets so far, Viktor. What's the story about you, guy?
Yeah, maybe we start, let's say, with the beginning of my passion for composites. It started somewhere in my studies. In masters, mainly in masters, where I was working in RWTH Aachen University Institute for Textile Technology, where I got in touch for the first time with composites, and after that, all my career actually started. Yeah, I finished my studies, and just a few days later, I already started to do my PhD in the same university, in the same institute, actually, also in the Institute for Textile Engineering. They have a quite big part for composites. So I think they have around about now 100 people, and more than half of them work for composites. So, and I was working in a team for braiding and winding. And in the last 3 years at ITA, I built up a small team together with my other colleagues for pipes and vessels. So the team was called Research Group Pipes and Vessels, where we developed some technologies with partners for tank and pipe manufacturing. So we did not make the products themselves, but more focused on the machinery. So we did develop technologies like braiding, UD braiding for pressure vessels, filament winding, top rack winding, so pre-impregnated fiber winding, and also multi-filament winding, where you wind almost the full layer of the tank in one step. So very amazing technology. And after that, I finished my PhD in 2019. I stayed there as a postdoc. And finally, I was looking for a new challenge for hydrogen, especially for hydrogen. This became my new passion. And as well, let's say I have two passions, composites and hydrogen. So then I decided to go next step. And I visited in 2019, before I actually switched. I visited ACTC, that's Advanced Composite Technology Center in Changshu in China. And I was really fascinated about what they have. So last time, Timo Huber, Vice President of ACTC, introduced also new channel, ACTC. For those who have seen it, it's great. For those who didn't see it, you should watch it again. So it's really, I was really amazed to start working there, and I applied, and they said, "Oh, okay, let's try out." And I came then to China. So 2019 December, I was there. A few months later, COVID break out.
Yes.
So I signed my contract in the middle of the peak in Germany. So somewhere in the March, I remember this time, everything was in lockdown. It took us a while to get some planes, and finally we had a chance to get on the German-Chinese Chamber of Commerce plane, so the charter plane, and me and my wife, we together made this trip to China with all the lockdowns, but finally we arrived there in August 2020, and we started our career there. I started myself alone, just one person, no machinery, just an idea to develop pressure vessels. But let's say after less than 3 years of my stay there, we made our first tanks and we burst them, so the basic tests, which were very successful. So these 3 years included all the machine purchase, all the equipment installation, and so on. And afterwards, build up a team and test the tanks. So it was a very successful time from that time. Now I'm back in Germany. So my team is there. We are around about, currently we're around about 9 or 10 people in my team. Of course, with support from other departments, as we in ACTC work very integrative. And they are already very independent, working very well. And in Europe, let's say in Europe, not just Germany, I keep getting in touch with our partners, material manufacturers, some designers, and so on. And of course, HRC team. It includes also our Ingenuity team, who support our team in all the CIE, finite element analysis for the pressure vessel. And that's actually the current status and the story of myself up to now.
Okay, so your passions are composites and hydrogen, you say. It's a great combination, and it's also a combination that is highly in trend, of course. So tell us about the current state of hydrogen. I'm getting so many different information levels from, it's still in R&D to we are ready to produce, but the quantities aren't there. What's the latest situation, just in a nutshell, Viktor?
Well, it's all quite the same. As you said, we are in the development phase. We progressed already very well. But as mentioned before, the economy worldwide is struggling a bit. So also we have to slow down a little bit. But anyway, we keep progressing. And we even included some more topics, especially we consider that in future the CO2 food prices will increase. CO2 prices or taxes will increase. It means we also have to consider reducing CO2 footprint for the product itself, for the pressure vessel. So that's why we thought, okay, let's keep going on that. And let's also look on other topics that will be very important for future. And now we have several projects for that. Currently, we have a research project on utilization of bio-based resins, which strongly reduce CO2 footprint for the pressure vessels. Yeah. And maybe I can also add that the market it will grow for sure. For the hydrogen market, it will increase a lot. We have just a lot of conflicts in the world currently, as you see, and including the economic crisis. But I strongly see that this will keep developing. So we see a lot of projects for hydrogen. And of course, there are also some changes for the pressure vessels. We started with a small tank for 52 liter for passenger car, because this was a really big hype in 2020 in China. But then new research has shown that maybe passenger cars will be just the minority for the hydrogen. So battery capacity increased a lot. So it means that it became more competitive in passenger cars than hydrogen, even more competitive it was before. But lucky we strategically planned very well, and all the equipment we installed was sized for all kind of pressure vessel sizes. We were able to make small tanks like for passenger cars, but also to make really big tanks for more than 350 or even more liters. So we also look into the heavy duty industry, which has more potential for hydrogen transportation than in passenger cars.
Okay, so it's the trend is more in the heavier vehicles. Okay, so let's talk about JEC World. I assume you have the hydrogen tanks on display at JEC World. What else is there? Tell us about why should the viewers come to your booth?
Yeah, that's a great question. We will have a lot of different parts. Maybe some words about HRC Group for those who don't know about. HRC Group is a very international composite service and product provider. HRC Group provides parts for automotive, aviation, and transportation industry. And we have also, let's say, 3 groups within HRC Group. We have the Ingenuity, our partner Ingenuity, which is in UK, in Sussex. We have ACTC, Advanced Composite Technology Center, where I am based in Changshu, and HRC Mass Manufacturing. So these 3 pillars. The first pillar, Ingenuity, is which is, let's say, it's kind of our brain. Yeah, they support us on making all the design, FEA analytics, material testing, and so on. In ACTC, we also have some laboratory to test materials, but also to make prototypes, real scale prototypes. The machinery in ACTC is real scale. So parts like car parts, really big parts. And HRC for final serial production. So finally, we are tier 1 and OEM product provider, the whole group. And so those, you will see a lot of products in our booth. Like some car parts and other parts. So you're really welcome to visit. And we will also have some new innovations that we developed last year out there. Some topics, some about sustainability topics. So you're very welcome to see what we have developed. I can't tell it now because the plan is to, for the first time, to tell about at JEC. So very welcome, as I mentioned before, booth hall number 6, F55. You will see there products from, or prototypes from ACTC, the pressure vessel. And also you will dive in the services we provide with our partner Ingenuity, and of course the full around service of HRC Group.
Okay, so unfortunately, we couldn't get the secret out of you. I was hoping that we will get the secret out. Timo is not telling me the secret. Eric is not telling me the secret. And you also did not tell me the secret. Normally, this would have been the show to tell the secret to the community, but we will be eager to visit you and make sure that we are coming to your booth. Viktor, what would be the final call to action? What should people now do after they have watched this LinkedIn Live?
First of all, add me in LinkedIn.
Okay.
And second, you can appoint a meeting with me or my colleagues at the JEC booth, and of course visit us. If you're not able to come to JEC, you are welcome to ask me anytime, whatever questions you have. If you have an idea for a product you think that can be solved with composites, we can think about to support you or your team on developing this or to solve this issue or to develop a new product for you. And even go into serial production with our HRC serial manufacturing part.
Okay, so just for good order's sake, you are based in Germany.
Right, yes, now. I'm based in Germany. Okay. I'm based in North Rhine-Westphalia. So it's quite a good location because a lot of hydrogen projects are based also here. and a lot of transportation projects are based more in the south. But anyway, for the pressure vessel, I'm very well located, and this was also a strategic decision to come here.
Okay. So says Viktor Reimer from ACTC, part of the HRC group. Thank you so much for joining our show and keeping us updated on the hydrogen tanks technology. And I look forward to meet you at booth number 6F55.
Thank you very much, and welcome at our booth, and stay in touch, and of course, add me in LinkedIn.
Okay, bye-bye.
See you.
So, Yannick, how's it going?
It's going good, thank you, Ilkay. And I just connected with Viktor, so just accept my connection. I'm happy to meet you also in JEC, of course. On the chat side, I mean, we see lots of people being impatient to be in Paris at JEC to meet people to people. That's great. It's one thing which is obvious, probably also compared to other industries, and you can maybe confirm that, Ilkay, is the fact that so many companies collaborate. I mean, we see that with the JEC Innovation Award. I mean, Xenia was speaking on behalf of all the partners. There were 12 partners involved in this project. Now we see HSC together with ACTC. So tell us, Ilkay, maybe, do you also have the impression this industry, the composite industry, is stronger together?
Absolutely. The stronger together, that was also your motto, the cooperation part at the Innovation Day. Collaboration these days is key for innovation. And cooperation is, of course, also, let's say, a way and a means to solve problems together that may be not solvable if you walk on your own. And in that, I would even include maybe obvious competitors working together to solve a customer problem these days. This is called co-opetition, is fine. Yeah, the important part is that we make a better world, that make it sustainable. And if it means that, you know, obvious competitors have to work together to solve a technical problem, that's fine. I mean, they don't need to talk about prices, obviously, but innovation is always driven in collaboration. And that's why I think collaboration is very, very important. And we are lucky, let's say, that we are in an industry where innovation drives the growth. Yeah, that's a growth driver, is innovation. This industry is not so much on the cost advantage side. Yeah. Although there are technologies available to use now, recycled fibers, like we saw with Giorgio Betteto. But innovation is the main driver, and anything we do is with innovation. Let me check. Barbara from Poland has pitched her Composite Expo Fair. She said, after JEC World, I invite everyone to visit Composite Expo Fair, which is held on 16 and 17 of October. Thank you, for Barbara, for highlighting this. So we had Andrzej here, and this is basically the one we talked about. And then we have Justine. Justine said she's looking for new knowledge in the composites world and is open to connections. Justine, thank you so much for being part of our show. Now, Yannick, one part that we did not discuss today is, and now I'm leaning on your knowledge here, the SAMPI, what is it, SAMPI conference on the Monday, where you are also talking. Tell us about what is SAMPI, who is it for, and why are you speaking there?
Yeah, so it's called SAMPI Summit. It has always been a day before JEC, actually. So it was always the opportunity to gather a certain community within the composites community. It's also evolving a bit. So from the origins, it was more the academic field. So really deep tech topics, what happens in processing, in materials, also on the software side, more and more. And now it's opening up because, as you said, I mean, there is a lot of collaborations going on and really applying what is known in the labs to scale it, to make it sustainable. You have to make an impact. Obviously, you need scaling and you need proof of the market. So it's going into that direction. So there is a convergence between the academic world and more the industrial world. And what I'm speaking about, I mean, obviously my passions are competitive sports and high performance in general. I see composites as being a high performance driven market just because we put reinforcements into plastics. So that's, I would say, the connection between that, and because we have Road to Paris 2024, we have the Olympic Games in my hometown this summer. And here JEC also, as well as SAMPI, wanted to make, was to use this opportunity to bring forward some sports products made by composites, as you know.
So I assume your call to action then is go and listen to Yannick at SAMPI.
Yeah, I mean, come and discover the broad, I would say, innovations. I mean, of course, I will talk about sports, but just listen to all SAMPI speakers and also participate actively to JEC. And there will be plenty of forums. We spoke about country-driven forums. There will be also sports forum on the Thursday morning, the last day of JEC, and yeah, many spectacular products, even secret products not revealed now.
Okay, again, a lot of secrets. Okay, thank you so much, Yannick, for introducing us also to the SAMPI conference on that day, which is a traditional thing one day prior to JEC World opening its doors. Thank you, dear community, for watching us live here on LinkedIn, for watching this on replay. We had a first round already 2 weeks ago. Please also check that out. Check also the LinkedIn Live from China out that Viktor mentioned with Timo Huber. And yeah, this is the final warm-up for prior to JEC World. I will be there at JEC World with my team, and I'm really hoping to see you there. I will be personally very, very busy the 3 days because we will do some video interviews and those things. So if you feel you want to speak to me, please speak to me prior JEC World so we can really make an appointment. We can discuss about visibility here on LinkedIn through our Composites Launch channels. And yeah, also the ones who are listening to this on the podcast, please make sure that if you want to see the parts that have been shown, if you want to see the logos, the graphics and everything, make sure you also have a look at our LinkedIn Live here on LinkedIn as a replay or on our YouTube podcast. Thank you so much. I wish you all a safe travel and a nice weekend for now, and see you soon.
See you soon.